24 hours later, we're still here at Monza, and we still have some Formula One cars circulating around this glorious 5.79 kilometer circuit. And well, there isn't a better place to try and do it than here in the Grand Prix Series, streaming live on iRacing Live, brought to you by RaceSpot TV. Row 7 sees Reinaldo Augusto and Simon Schultz, with Matteo Calastani and Ruslan Sabitov surprisingly off the pace. Because we're ready to go and we are underway. It's a shocking start from Riley Preston on the second row. And you can see it's a stormer of a start there from Orozco, who jumps all the way up into second position. Big wiggle behind as Price tries to cut the nose. And down onto the brakes, Bolabassi under pressure. Backham trying to go 3 wide. They concertina and they all dive for a bit of space. And for the moment though, Bolabassi is held onto it and held on very well. But there is issues for O'Reilly, for Davide de Corps even, I do believe that is, who has got a huge amount of issues. 3 wide as they head through Curva Grande there, Connery.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing coming down towards the start. Another driver that got absolutely fantastic start was the driver of Matteo Calastani. Absolutely fantastic traction off the line, past 4 cars before he even got to the braking zone of turn 1. That's how great that start was.
What's happened there for Kern? Kern's going to have to drop the position there, and now Ruslan Sabitov wants to try and make the charge to go +5. Defensive line was taken by Kern. He forced him to the inside, and you get pinched very heavily into Lesmo 1. You can't carry nearly much more of the apex speed that you really need to in terms of that. Sabitov will hold into line astern just for the time being then in this one right now. Also worth noting, Josh Rogers, after that slowdown, has dropped back by about a second here in terms of what has been going on here, Connery. So maybe the 1 lap pace isn't as good as, say, what is going to be the overall race pace compared to Joe.
No, it isn't, and Sebastian Joe setting some pretty good lap times. Of course, well, nowhere near Mac Backham at the moment. He's at
Sabitov back. Sabitov, Schultz, Augusto, Rodriguez, Lohner. Where has Josh Rogers gone? He's made a mistake then here out of Ascari, and it's another spin. And once you make one mistake in this vehicle, it happens all over again. He desperately tried to hold it, but he had to go straight across the gravel at the final stages, Connery, of that corner.
Yeah, we have a replay on the screen for you now, and yeah, you make a good point there, Jake. Once one mistake there, that means Sabitov is going to defend his position, and now he's got the other PSR car of Ronaldo Augusto right behind, who also have DRS, but Selman Schulze will also have DRS. Can he make a move on Ruslan Sabitov coming down into the Ascari chicane? That definitely looks to be the case. Sabitov not going to fight it just yet as he lets the car of Simon Schulze pass coming down into Ascari, but there's still a couple of cars in this chain you want to be keeping an eye on. Ron Rodriguez and Moritz Lohner as well, looking to make their opportunities coming through the field.
Augusto now looking at his teammate here, who actually goes defensive down in towards turn number 1. There needs to be a little bit of communication. Actually runs very, very deep, does Augusto. That's going to allow the driver Rodriguez now to try and get the move. He does get the move happening. Now Lohner all over the back of Sabitov after making that move. So now Sabitov running into a few issues then. To the outside, turns to the inside then. Against Sabitov goes Rodriguez, and Rodriguez then moves himself up very easily there, that move, and over the curbs there, over those big sleeping policemen went the driver of what is Simon Schultz, and just like that, Connery, front of the train, Juan Miguel Rodriguez. Of 6 then, Mark Warmington joins the back of it then. Through Parabolica they go, wider line taken by Schultz, trying to really maximize the run off the exit, and he does maximize the run off the exit, so he'll move himself side by side with the driver of Ruslan Sabitov, and Sabitov won't have too much to argue against this one, because straight through will go Schultz. So Schultz now will chase Rodriguez here, who is trying to break the pack, and Sabitov and Augusto again, and the 2 teammates touch just a little bit, and they touch with Lohner, and Lohner's going to run a little bit wider as well. So Mark Warmington now with an opportunity, just spreads this group out a little bit here, Connery. Not what any of them want. They want to be able to go quicker here in terms of the racing, but they don't want to be holding each other up in terms of running too close. It's a very fine line when you're pack racing like that.
The scheduled stop here as Bolabassi actually does set the fastest lap, and it's around about 1 second faster than Mac Backham managed to make last time by play at this stage. Look at how close Isaac Price and Mac Backham are now coming through the second chicane. I don't think he's going to get slowed up enough coming through Lesmo 1 and 2. As we have a look back at P12, in fact, this is between Juan Rodriguez and Ruslan Sabitov. They're going to head their way out of the Parabolica, and I don't think, is Rodriguez going to get DRS? Yes, he is, and that's going to cancel out Ruslan Sabitov's DRS. I don't think it's going to be moved this time by. Having a look back at the P1, though, Isaac Price still ahead of Matt Backer. Partington still stays static as it is right now. Partington still not able to get there. But meanwhile, Ruslan Sabitov versus Juan Rodriguez coming down into the first chicane. Rodriguez trying the switch pack on the middle to exit of the corner. Not able to make it happen, though, as they both get a decent run over Simon Schulze, which is at the back of these two, coming out of the first chicane. They head their way through Curva Grande. And, well, this is going to be a good 3-car fight for what is going to be a P11.
Yeah, it is. It's a very difficult fight, especially in the middle of the pack. You've got to remember you're 70% around this circuit, full throttle. So you have to make sure that you know where you can make that move. Sometimes, you know, with less corners, with more straights, time becomes less between certain drivers. But that also means any mistake you make is a lot more exact. Side by side behind now is Croker now under a lot of pressure here. Lathoris now side by side with him, and a touch on the way in, and round will go Lathoris here in front of everyone. De Corps gets away with it after results are being cast. One driver then will have to get himself over the line in the end. That is Ruslan Sabitov, who will just claw himself over the line when all is said and done. Sunshine, it's the #1 machine, finishing, guess where? Position #1 overall. Matt Backham takes the victory then by 11 seconds when all is said and done. Chembol at Bassi. Ruslan Sabitov will be the last car then, finishing on the leading lap in 11th, with cars a lap down: Juan Miguel Rodriguez, Reynaldo Augusto, Matteo Calistani, and Ollie Kvoka. Hashtag do you mind? And do you mind? That's been some fantastic action. We'll see you again in another race. Good night.